All right. Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, peeps?
So today is an exciting day
Yes, it
because
is.
not only are we at our old college,
Yep, FGCU.
our alma mater, yeah, but we also have the Ian Knight with us, and we're excited to kind of like just talk to him because it's been a minute since we like actually sat down and got to like talk to him and like listen to his wisdom, but also to kind of like hear what he's been up to. So let's roll this intro and then we'll get started. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Roberto Guido.
And my name is Marissa Lewis.
And together we are
the Dos Cocos Locos.
And welcome to our podcast.
So our goal with this podcast is to drop as much coconut fire, which is our way of saying life/business knowledge bombs, for creatives that don't necessarily know much about life or business, through conversations with one another as well as with other fellow creatives and dope people.
Our story has a lot of twists and turns, but basically we started by selling coconuts at the beach, and now we have our own photography and videography business. And it's through these conversations that we were able to really learn how to navigate this thing called life. Enjoy. But Ian, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Thanks for having me. It's quite awesome. I've been wanting to catch up with you guys for a while now. So.
I know. It's been too long, Ian. It's been too long.
I think you said it was like 8 months since we last sat down.
At the Ale House in Fort Myers.
Dude.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's too long. All right, well, maybe once you move up to Tampa, we'll fix that.
The Tampa move.
The Tampa move. Yeah. So Ian, Ian kind of already like watched a few of our podcasts, so he kind of knows the flow of it. Mm-hmm. But just for the new listeners out there, so we like to start our podcast with one question and then kind of take it from there. But in one sentence, it can be as long or as short as you want. Mm-hmm. What is it that you do?
So, in general, because I do a lot of things.
Yeah. Go for
whatever you like.
Whatever you want to include in that sentence, yes.
Okay. So, at the moment, I'm doing quite a few things. The most recent or the most, invested thing that I'm in right now is creating a platform for marketers, for the new age marketers, I probably even shouldn't say marketers, but more so the millennial entrepreneurs. The foundations of marketing are constant. However, there isn't a platform that like transfers that to the new day type of business, like podcast or like websites for e-commerce, drop shipping, and stuff of that sort. Mm-hmm. So I've been investing a lot of time in creating these articles, these snippets of the academic marketing, and relating that to how we can use them as, the modern day entrepreneurs.
That's cool.
Gotcha.
So that's the most recent thing that I've been up to.
Dude, I love that, man.
That's exciting.
That's so cool. So high key, like Ian has helped us out so much at the beginning stages of our like journey.
Of Dos Cocos Locos.
Yeah, for real. Like if
Productions.
if it wasn't for him, I was telling him earlier, if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have done a lot of stuff by the books / legally.
Legally for a while.
For a while.
So Ian helped us save like a lot of money getting our LLC and like making everything official, because we almost spent like so much more money on like these fake websites that look real to help you get the same thing.
We had fun.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah, literally we had no idea because we both went to school for like biology. Yeah. So we're like, Ian, it's saying that it's charging us like $700 to get an LLC. Is that right?
He's like,
no.
Wait
a minute, no.
Definitely don't do it. It's not that much money. So if any of you are listening to this or watching this and you think that it's going to be like $1,000 to get your business started, that's not true.
I think that was only like $150?
It's like $150
or something around that.
There was a big difference from like $700. Yeah. We like legit almost paid it too.
Yeah, we're like this
okay,
close.
This is what we need. And it's like a legit website. So don't do that.
Yeah.
Just call it.
Yeah. So let's dive into that. So like first of all, why do you think for like non-business majors or people that haven't like had exposure to that, why do you think it seems so complicated, the steps as far as like to get your company legit?
Well, you see, the biggest misconception in business overall is that you're going to have an idea and tomorrow you're going to make $1 million. And I think a lot of people approach it that way, and they get so stuck on, is it going to be big, and when is it going to be big, and I need to be a PhD in economics to make this work.
Right.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
It's a pretty simple process once you have the right things, and that really, that's where it comes, the fact that non-business majors, always get into the buying of, okay, what do I need to do, and then subsequently, those people with great ideas, because they get so paralyzed, really.
Yeah.
Those ideas never come to light. Those
That's true.
great business ideas go away because they're like, I'm not qualified for this. You are.
Yeah.
You are
That's
more
true.
qualified.
I
than
think
you
that was definitely paralyzing. Like
It was so scary for us. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I started my own like little company before we did Dos Cocos Locos. Like I had Just Be Lewis, and it was like a small t-shirt company that I started with like Love You More shirts and stickers. Yeah, and I loved it. It was great. But like that was definitely not legit, and like I probably shouldn't say that out loud. But like it was definitely not legit, and like it was just something that I was doing in college, and I really liked it. It was fun. And I'm probably gonna bring that back soon. Gotta like do some of that stuff again.
Never know.
Probably make it legit, which wasn't that expensive.
Yeah.
But I think that is definitely something, because like I've talked to several people when I was starting that, and they're like, well, did you do this A, B, and C? And I'm like, no, I just set up a website. I got it hooked up to a print fulfillment thing, and like we just made it work. Like I made some stickers, and that was it. Now I'm off.
And I think you have some in Spain, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, I have
a
a couple stickers up in Europe somewhere.
Yeah.
I was like, oh hey.
That's awesome.
In Italy, I know there's some in Italy.
Yeah.
Brie
Dang,
did some.
you have good memory, man.
That's true. I forgot about that. I'm global. But
Dang,
I
man.
can definitely see how like that's very intimidating and paralyzing, because it appears to be, and like that was when I was a biology major, like it was during college, but it appears to be like there's so much red tape that you have to go through in order to get a business before actually starting. But I feel like if you just start, like you're just that much closer.
And also just partnering up with someone who does know
what
like
the
the
heck's
overall
going on.
process.
Yeah.
And like that's what you were for us. Like you really helped us out. We were really like super stressed out. We're like, we have no idea. And then Ian literally took the time, like, hey, just come to my office. And we sat down with him for like 2-3 hours, and he was just
like,
explaining the process.
All of this?
But he was so like, it's so helpful because he literally like explained it like very, very easy to follow. And I'm like, really? That's it? He's like, yeah, that's it.
Good stuff.
And you're good to go. And I'm like, damn, we got EIN, all this like employee identification number, all that stuff. And I'm like, dang.
That's
So if you're thinking about doing that and you're stressed out, find someone like Ian Knight, or just reach out to Ian Knight.
We're just gonna put his phone number right here.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding.
Well, dang, man, that's wild. So right now you're currently going to school to get your master's in marketing.
Yes, I
Dang.
am pretty much done with the marketing section of it. Now I'm more so focusing on project management.
Okay.
Because marketing and project management goes hand in hand quite neatly.
So what's like your overall experience as far as?
It's been great. It's been so great. The more I get immersed into the actual practical marketing and actually the academic, section of it, I just fall in love with it over and over again. It's awesome. Yeah, I mean it's fun, and it's a lot of things. If you think about it, marketing is the only discipline in business that has a direct trade-off with money.
That's true.
Because if you think about finance or accounting, the accounting department don't bring in new money.
It's true.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
kind of
using
existing money.
That's
Or-
true.
Dang. So without marketing, business would be dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
The four main pillars of marketing overall is price, place, promotion, and the product. And it's price, place, promotion, and product. The price pillar of marketing is where we decide how much is this product or service is going to cost, and after that bridge has been crossed, you have a business that's producing money. After you've gone through deciding what the product is, the place, how you're going to distribute it, and then the promotion, how you're going to advertise it.
Yeah.
Then you have a income producing business right there.
Dang,
It's
that's
true.
simple. Wow.
I remember that. I took,
I
so
didn't
I
think
was,
of that.
do you remember that I was a marketing major?
Yes.
It's so much. Like, it was so great. Like, of all the classes that I took, like, all my marketing classes, well, besides drawing one, I love drawing. Like, that was probably my favorite class of all time. But all the marketing classes, it was so, like, it was so much psychology, really.
It really is. It
Like,
really is.
I think one of my favorite classes is probably consumer behavior. And that was, like, why people even consider buying the things that they
Something
buy.
like that, yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so
Oh,
true.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's crazy how much people can really, like, mess with your brain in the things that you're purchasing
Yeah.
by just, like, colors or
Or
like
the wording. Yeah.
or fonts. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy how, like, they can really manipulate your thought process in what
Exactly.
you're purchasing.
Exactly. And that right there, when a business uses marketing the way it should be used, it really is a psychological process. You know, it influences. Per se, if you're in the lobby of a hotel, you always wonder, why do they have mirrors beside the elevators?
Oh, true.
Well, when there's a mirror, you're going to look in the mirror, right? And say the elevator is on the 60th floor, you being distracted by looking in the mirror, it eats up some of the wait time.
So it doesn't feel as
So
if
you
you're
don't
in the
feel like you're
elevator
there
for that
as
long.
You know, there's a reason why if you go to rent an apartment, the clubhouse of the apartment is always
Super
really
beautiful.
nice. It's the psychological
clean.
effect that you know, this place for first impressions.
Right.
This is, and for businesses that don't have like a tangible product,
Yeah.
that you can't really reference. You look at a Mercedes and you know that this is a Mercedes because it's really nice. But what if you were a law firm and you only have, services? You don't have any physical product that the person can see.
Right.
Well,
Like us, we don't have a physical product.
exactly.
Yeah, but we still have like examples of our work though.
Exactly. But in the case of a law firm, you know that the law firm is a really good law firm if you enter the lobby
It looks nice.
and it looks nice, and you see the big degrees on the walls.
That's true. One of our clients is actually a lawyer, and that's really true. They're in like the nicest building in
Yeah,
town.
they're like, I think it's like the 30th floor of a building, super high up.
Yeah, and it's like
Very
a
clean,
beautiful
wood.
view.
Yeah.
All of his
The
diplomas.
old, yeah, they
are
have the
up on
old books, like all like a whole like wall of books.
Yeah.
So
That's true. It's all about the
Yeah.
aesthetic. It's all about what you think.
Yeah, it's creating a perception in the client's mind that motivates them to buy.
that's crazy.
And yeah. And
Hey, so then as a
Wow.
as a marketing team then, or let's say like your full job is a marketing, like how do you even, because you have to portray that as a business as well, so you have to use marketing techniques to market your own marketing
yeah,
business.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like how would that look like as far as
Yeah.
this day and age kind of thing?
Absolutely. Well, you see, the foundations are consistent across the board. It really comes down to 4 main things that consist the strategic marketing process. And the first step is defining the business. This is where you really answer the question, what am I in business for? What do I do? And that's when you define your generic strategy, your mission, goal, and objectives. And that's really the first step, regardless of what entity you are.
Dang.
What do we do?
Basically, your why.
You're
No, but what do we
What
do?
do we
I
do?
feel like we don't have a specific marketing strategy plan. That's a good idea. I'm thinking of things.
like what's your existence? What's your value proposition?
Damn.
See, this is why we like having conversations with Ian.
Yeah,
because
he
just
literally
gives us
just
things to think about.
he just like breaks
About
it
like our
down
lives and our business.
and then be like, wow, it's been a year and we haven't even thought about it.
We haven't
yet.
really thought about like what. Yep. Anyway.
But you see, that happens to everyone though, and emerge millennials. That's the name of the site that I'm working on.
Yes.
Well, link in bio.
Millennials.
Yes,
Listen to
Emerge
that.
Millennials.
Emerge millennials. And you see, a lot of people skip past the dogmatic foundations of marketing and go straight to advertising.
That's true.
And then they call that marketing.
Yeah.
You know, they put up an Instagram and, oh, my marketing is all set. No, you haven't even started.
That's not even what half of marketing is. So I think that's interesting because we kind of, initially when we started this company, we were going to do social media marketing, but we didn't know anything about it. And we just thought like we were just going to help people with their social media.
Yeah,
and, like,
take some good photos, get some video.
Yeah, like create the content and then post it and then be like, here it is to the world. But that's just not what it is. It's actually like understanding the basis of who your target market is.
Exactly.
What that company even does to find that target market. And then actually like promoting and pushing everything towards that market specifically. And I know that because I took some marketing classes.
Nice.
But that's hard to do, and like especially since because we have such a wide range of services, it's hard for us to even solidify
Like,
who our target market is
yeah.
specifically, and be like, okay, these people we're going to market. This is who we're going to create content for, and then push the content towards. But I think it's interesting that the good majority of people are still stuck at that one spot where they're like, I'm just going to get some content for these companies and then post it, and then it's going to be fabulous, and that's just not what it is.
Yeah. And you know, it really becomes undefined. You know, an important part of the first step, which is the business definition, is deciding the generic strategy or the overall strategy of the firm, really. And a lot of new firms tend not to do this. You could either be focused where, you know, you're focused on one brand, for instance, the Nine West shoes brand that specializes in one brand, you know, or differentiated, which is like, you know, Mercedes-Benz or BMW, they're luxury, they're differentiated. You can see the difference from a Toyota to a BMW. Or overall cost leadership, like Walmart, where they are low cost and, you know, I'm not sure about the value. Sorry.
Amazon maybe? Or?
In some cases.
Yeah, in some cases.
You know, and then, you know, you have those firms who are, we call them the middle of the road, where they try to be all things for all people. And this is really, you know, it literally defines, just as it sounds, in the middle of the road. And those are the firms that get run over as time goes by. A good example of this, my favorite example was Hooters in 2000. Hooters actually pursued opening Hooters Air, which was an airline.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
What?
It lasted for 3 years, and it ended up being a $40 million loss for Hooters.
$40 million.
Holy shit. I never heard of this.
I don't remember this. 2000?
2000. You can Google it.
Look that up.
Hooters Air.
Air. So like they just had like their concept of a Hooters bar, but in the air kind of thing?
Exactly.
That's interesting.
The stewardess were Hooters girls.
Hooters girls.
Wow. I feel like that would only appeal
to certain men.
To a certain demographic. Like people with their families aren't going to bring them on a Hooters plane.
Exactly.
Wow.
You know, and that's where this happens to the best of businesses.
Right.
That's why it's so important to have a really good business definition and generic strategy and stick to that in the long term.
Right.
Because and it happens to large firms all the time, where you have this overambitious marketer who was sitting down one evening over a plate of Hooters chicken and say, you know what?
Let's do it. Let's open an airline. Let's buy a plane.
Slap some Hooter girls in there. Dang. Wow.
That's interesting.
I gotta look that up. That's interesting.
That's an interesting concept. I think it's, but like, why a plane?
Exactly.
Why? Like, why not just expand upon what you're already good at? So a restaurant.
Exactly.
Why not just expand upon maybe do like a higher scale restaurant?
It has to be a strategic fit.
Right.
And that's what marketing is. It's not a sprint. It's literally a marathon. It's a long-term process. Actually, the very definition of marketing is the long-term exchange of value between the person and a customer. They get value, and then you get money.
That's true.
And
knowledge right
here. The Ian Knight.
If you didn't know Ian Knight, now you know.
It's the Ian Knight. You have to put the in front of it, or else it does not count, and it's a different person.
The Facebook.
Oh my gosh, that makes
man.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Oh, marketing. I missed it.
Yeah.
Those were good classes. I actually really
It's-
enjoyed them
yeah.
thoroughly.
It's amazing. Once you get plugged into marketing, oh my God. Firms that wield marketing right, like Procter and Gamble,
Mm.
are
They're like basically
Titans.
unstoppable at this
Unstoppable.
point.
They are tight
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, what's next for Ian Knight?
Good.
What is on the horizon? He's moving to Tampa. Or Miami.
Or Miami.
But Tampa. So what is next for Ian?
You know, I'm really considering to. Now I work in corporate America. Unfortunately, I hope my boss is not watching this.
And if you are,
If you
just
are,
let-
It's a heads up.
my name is not Ian.
It's the Ian Knight.
Yeah, but I'm definitely at the point where I want to be more entrepreneurial in my work life.
Yeah.
The 9 to 5 is great, but there is just so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really is.
Especially when you know so much about
Yeah,
it.
dude, I feel like
I feel like you're right
dude,
there,
like-
and you could just help. So
yeah,
much.
your knowledge is right there, bro. You just gotta link up with the right people, and you
Yeah.
can freaking destroy the whole world
For real,
in a good way. In a good way.
especially
though.
in Tampa.
Yeah.
Tampa's
Yeah,
where
in
it's
the
at.
comments, just drop Tampa. We'll get like a whole list. And then if we get like more than 10 people, then he's coming to Tampa.
More than 5. More than 5. We'll be 2 of them.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, that's. I'm really looking forward to that. There are a couple of things that are on my mind, and I'm finally confident now that I can move forward with them.
Like what?
Yeah. Share your stories with us, man. That's why
Share
we're
it,
here.
Ian. I want to hear it
That's
all.
why we're
Some of them
here.
are, well, there is there are a couple of firms who are reaching out to me for some contract work,
Mm.
and I just have a feeling that, with the feedback that I've been getting from that, and that I might be pursuing
That's exciting.
a marketing consultancy, marketing firm that does marketing strategies.
Dang.
I
So you get to use what you learn and put it like in actual use.
Mhm.
That's dope.
yeah.
That's exciting.
So far, I just finished working with Naples Yacht. They had an expansion project into the Grand Bahamas.
Oh, I remember we talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And they
exciting.
finally started the operations with 3 catamarans.
What is it?
It's really,
I was like,
it's like
Yeah.
it's like a small bus boat.
Okay.
okay.
Oh, okay, that's
Quickest
cool.
explanation.
3 catamarans.
and
I
what
would like a catamaran.
That sounds so nice.
I know.
I think they hold up to like 60 people.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
So almost like a dinner boat.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. They do sunset cruises,
Oh, that's cool.
deep sea fishing,
Dang.
water
That's very
sports.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you got to be part of that project, learn a lot.
Yeah, the expansion project was pretty interesting. That was my second international project. The one before that was for it was for an appraisal firm in London,
Wow.
and my role in that was limited. I mostly did the basics, the foundations of it.
Okay.
So the business definition, the situational analysis, competitive analysis, and then the market mix, and then reformulation.
That's so cool. I know all of those words.
I know a few of those letters.
Oh, my last class that I took here was IMC.
Yeah. Integrated marketing communication.
Yes, and we had to do like an entire. Wow, that's hard to remember.
Like,
We had to do an entire marketing plan, but it wasn't called a marketing plan. It was more in depth than that. It was
I like research and everything.
yeah. So we had to do all of those steps from the very beginning to like how we were going to integrate this new product of whoever it was into like their new company. So like we had to do all of those steps, like situation analysis, the competitive analysis.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun.
Yeah,
It was
so-
like it was really cool. I felt like I learned so much in just that one
Yeah.
class.
It's so much fun. I mean, I think I told you the first step in the marketing process. That was the business definition.
Mm-hmm.
What comes after that is the situational analysis, which after you've defined who you are, you know who you want to be when you grow up as a firm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is where you then pursue to analyze who else is in the market space that's doing the same things that I'm doing, and how can I beat them in doing that. And then the SWOT analysis, where you say, okay, your strengths and the weaknesses, and then your opportunities and the internal or the strengths and the weaknesses, what I can do inside my firm, strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And then the external, you're analyzing the opportunities in the market and also the threats. And then after you've done that, then you go to the marketing mix. And this is where you seek to develop your offering, your value proposition.
So like going to like actual physical people and kind of reaching out to them kind of thing.
This is where you do that also. But the value proposition being developed from the marketing mix, this is the 4 P's.
Marketing.
So you have the product or product/service, the place, how you're going to distribute it, the promotion, how you're going to advertise it, and then the price, how you're going to price it.
Dang.
I feel like we probably should have done all this for our company that we did not do, and now that he's reminding me of all the things that I remember.
But I think we not on the level that we should definitely have done it, but a little bit. Yeah, we definitely started.
Yeah.
But we've also kind of implemented that in our regular kind of business too, in a way.
Yeah, but I think it'd probably be important for us to sit down again and go through all of those things.
Just to kind of reflect back on it.
And because we've changed so much of what we're actually doing that like it's kind of mutated into something else. Like I said, we started off as like a social media marketing agency.
There was a point in time when we just wanted to do weddings, and then we're like, well, we're so new, and then we changed, and now we're doing events now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But you see, you were right on schedule though. You see, this
doesn't feel like it.
You are right on schedule, right where you need to be. So the final step, that's number 4, is review and reformulation.
Okay.
So you reformulate everything that you just said.
Yeah.
You started off with weddings, and then you realized that you had an opportunity. So this is now where we'd sit and do the SWOT analysis. We'll do your strengths and weaknesses, and then you probably can say like some of those, and then you have your opportunities and you recognize the threats that's in the marketplace.
Dang.
So the opportunities are those other things that you ventured out into that you took advantage of.
Yeah.
Dude, do you think we can do one as an example?
Can we do that after all this?
Yeah. All right, we're gonna SWOT it up.
We're gonna SWOT it up. I'm very excited.
All right,
I think it's necessary to do.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick little minute break. Shout out to Chris for editing this
Chris,
podcast.
we appreciate you so much.
And then we'll get back to it after that. I'm excited to see this in action. All right, let's do it.
Wow. Ian's just, dropping so much knowledge right now. He has me thinking about my whole strategy for Lucky Cat and how to make my business just so much better and hopefully deliver a better product. So definitely something I'm going to be working on myself. But speaking of businesses, I may be trying to get into the airline business, hopefully starting, my own version of Hooters Air. Seriously, Hooters Airline. Just because I know they're going to be asking for it, I'm going to just show you the Hooters Air commercial. And it looks exactly what you think it'll look like. Enjoy.
Announcing top 10 reasons to fly Hooters Air. Myrtle Beach, 2 hours takeoff to tea time. Nassau, fun sun entertainment. Fort Myers, year-round Florida beaches. Fares from $99. Convenient morning departures and evening returns. No advance purchase. No Saturday night stay. Hooters girls on every flight. All leather seats with extra legroom. Easy to buy, fun to fly. Don't wait, fly today. Log on to HootersAir.com or call 1-888-FLY-HOOT. Hooters Air puts the fun back into flying.
So we just finished watching the Hooters Air commercial. So that was interesting.
That did not seem real.
It really
Maybe
didn't
we'll
seem
have
real.
Chris throw it in the middle.
Yeah. Chris, throw that commercial in there, or right now. You'll figure it out. You can do whatever you want.
It's
but
it did not seem real. It felt
like really didn't.
One of like the SNL spoofs.
Yeah,
like that's what it felt.
That's exactly what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Wow, $40 million.
$40 million.
They lost $40 million.
For a bad idea. Well, I shouldn't say a bad idea.
It was an interesting idea.
An idea that failed.
It wasn't a strategic fit.
Yeah.
An option would be to have established a complete, different brand.
Under the Hooters.
Yeah,
Under the
under
Hooters,
Hooters, and don't
yeah.
brand it as Hooters because,
Yeah.
and don't dress the stewardesses.
Right? Because
That's
another thing too. I'm like, I want the people on the plane to like know what they do.
Like, at least
kinda,
look like they
or
know
at
what
least
they're
like
doing.
they know what they're doing.
And yeah, no,
I would not feel safe.
I would not feel safe.
yeah. I mean, but think about it though. To be a stewardess, you have to have a couple of years
That's true.
Yeah.
experience, and the great stewardess are not the ones who you want to be dressed as Hooters girls.
No, I want them to
Going up and down the aisles.
a pilot's outfit. Like, they know exactly what's going to happen when the plane goes down. Like, nope, I would not feel safe. Plus, I feel like most of the people who are flying are like families and children. You're not gonna intentionally select that plane if you're a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that right there, they just lost a whole bunch of customers.
Oh,
because now the market that they're appealing to are
Very slim.
probably can profile the people who would fly Hooters.
Yeah.
Some big shot business guy who's probably been through a couple of divorces, and he's just looking to get from Myrtle Beach to Fort Myers to play golf, and
Right.
along the way he wants to see some. Well, I don't know what he wants to see.
Right. I want to see some of that.
Some of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's funny.
As well. Well, before the commercial breaks, we were talking about SWOT analysis.
Yes.
So basically,
We're gonna do that with you.
so we're gonna do that right now to kind of just show you
we
how
do it
that
right now?
looks like. Yeah.
I
We're
can read
gonna-
you after the break, like on paper.
No, we're gonna do it right now, and then we'll just look back at it and be like,
Okay.
so we're gonna we
Here we
don't
go.
so we haven't done this before, totally off scripted, and we're just gonna really show you how it is, so that way you guys can try to do it on your
Yeah.
own business, or if you're thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
So all right, Ian, guide us through it, bro. Let's
All
go.
right. Let's okay, so we're gonna do an air SWOT.
Yes. We'll have Chris fill these in. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you can throw in the titles. We'll really appreciate you, bro. We'll give you a high five.
Chris, you have your work cut out for you. But so SWOT is really effective when it's separated in internal and external.
Okay.
Because this process of the marketing process is where you're doing the situational analysis.
Okay.
So first starting with the internal section of the SWOT.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is where you're looking in your firm and nothing else. What are my strengths and
So
what
like
are my
us too.
weaknesses?
Yeah. So like, what are some of our strengths? What are some of our weaknesses?
Okay. Strengths.
Okay.
Let's work through that.
Okay. So I think one of our strengths would be meeting new people and going out into the marketplace and
That's
just,
definitely his strength.
yeah, connecting with more people, like new people, just setting up dates to get coffee with them, learning how we could possibly work together,
Sure.
and just kind of like getting to know
And
their
just
story.
like walking up and talking to people, that's
Yeah.
something you're very good at. It's not something I'm very good at. So like we've noticed that if we're in like an out setting, Robert will like walk up to someone and like introduce himself and then start talking, and then I'll just casually walk over and be like, "Oh hey."
Yeah.
I am terrible at just saying like hello and starting a
tag team it.
conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it at all.
And
But then-
I'm really bad at the follow-up questions. Like, I just know how to say hi, basically. So
and then,
yeah, and then Marissa
holds
comes
a
in.
conversation
Yeah.
pretty well, I think. So like that so that's a strength, I guess,
Yeah.
of ours.
So you're strong in engaging new prospects.
Yes,
Yes.
I would say so.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one strength.
What's another strength?
You can bounce back and forth.
We're
between-
constantly learning.
Learning.
Well, we're trying to
Yes.
constantly learn
So,
new things because we're still so
perfecting
new.
your-
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
'Cause-
still so new in this industry, so we're constantly learning like about the industry and also just about the equipment that we're using and how to
Yeah.
maximize them to their fullest.
That's
So
true.
I think that's something. That
And also like the type of
strength.
editing, because
Yeah.
everybody kind of changes through the editing process, but like just seeing like what people like and be like, oh, how did they do that, and try to figure out how they did that.
Yes.
So that way we can provide that service to our customers as well.
Very nice, very nice.
So that's always like trying to do that.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So definitely an element of flexibility and
Yes.
constant learning.
Yes, for sure.
Growth.
Growth.
Yes.
Like that word growth.
True. I think one of our weaknesses internally would be.
We got a few.
We have a lot. Yeah, we have a
That's
lot.
all right.
But I think probably turnaround time. Just
That is
because,
something we're working on.
yeah, that's something that we're working on because we get all these client jobs stacked up one on top of the
Yes.
other. But the only thing is when we're editing or not go, like it's kind of hard because like you have to edit, but you also have to go and physically shoot other client stuff to add
And
to
keep
the
meeting
list.
the people and keep growing that
Yeah.
list of like clients. So then we like this past month we had a really good month and we had a lot of jobs lined up and booked up, and then we had so much work recorded but we didn't have enough
Time to like sit down and just edit them.
or like
yeah.
like emotionally we were not ready for all of the editing that came with all those projects. So like they kind of built up and they stacked up, and then we're still trying to get like chop that down and finish them up and send them back to our clients. But like that's, I feel like that's a good problem to have, or just something we're learning to work through because we haven't had
a situation that would cause us to be that backed up.
So that's something that I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
And so like probably some operations things to tweak.
Operations.
I think probably another weakness, and this is something that we're working on, is finances. Just keeping track of everything. Like we do have like some systems now that are in place, and we need to just maximize on those more
like
efficiently.
QuickBooks, things like that.
But I think just
like really sticking to our budget really is what it boils down to.
And then just learning more about taxes. Like taxes are just like a whole
That's a whole new world.
It's a whole education that you gotta learn. Like it's a whole new thing. So like that's interesting. Good thing we have a bomb ass accountant who like helped us with our taxes.
That's awesome.
He was freaking amazing. Got his money back that we did not
Shout
anticipate.
Ray.
Appreciate you, Ray, so much. But I think just like really learning more about finances in general, and then specific to our business is what is really helpful because again, biology majors, we learned nothing about money ever. I don't think in high school, no, middle school, no,
Not
college,
really.
definitely not. So I think those are probably two things that we definitely need to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. And you recognize how these are like internal.
Yes.
You know, and you know, it's definitely interesting because the information that you get from SWOT, especially the internal analysis, is, you know, it gives you an action plan as to what you need to work on.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
It paints the picture for you. So external now. So opportunities that's in the marketplace.
Okay. One big one right now is so our whole thing right now is community over competition.
True.
So basically showing that although you may be a fellow photographer, a fellow videographer, the fact is you can't do everything all yourself. You can't literally split yourself into two places at once at the same time. So like
Plus, there's so much business out there.
Yeah.
That is true.
Like in every kind of arena, there's so much business.
So like you can referral other job opportunities that you're already like busy on one end. You can referral and give it to someone that you may know.
Partnership.
Partnership up and like send it their way, and things like that. But also just bring the community together. I guess an opportunity would be seeing that the potential of hosting events where you can bring everybody that would be competitors together. And network and create content together.
And form community.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
So that's like one main opportunity that we've seen that we're
and that no one else apparently has done for a while.
Yeah.
So that's really cool because it wasn't something that we really thought too much about.
Yeah, it just kind of happened. So we're like, wow, this is interesting.
And then people are like, oh, we've been needing this. Like Tampa needed, like this is something that we haven't had in a long time. The last thing was about 4 years ago. That was kind of similar to what we did. And so that's interesting, and I think that's definitely an opportunity for growth and expansion.
Exactly.
That no one else has provided recently, which is freaking dope because it was completely by accident. So
totally random.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of opportunities. You get to, and now you actually get to come back with the marketing mix. So what I always like to tell clients is that when you have listed all of the opportunities, come back with the marketing mix, which is the 4 Ps, and create some value and move one of those opportunities into a strength, or better yet, a new offering.
Okay.
Damn. So like, I think we're on the same track, Ian.
I think we are,
because we were thinking about transitioning, using this momentum to transition into workshops, where it would be like much longer, not just 3 hours, probably like 6 or 7 hours, where it will be like different, more structure, but
More
provide
in-depth.
more in depth
More value.
and more value as well that you can learn from that workshop and then apply it to your own business.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where we're headed.
Yeah, we should partner.
Good.
Yeah,
Let's
listen,
go.
as soon as you get to Tampa, we can do some stuff. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So
It's pretty cool though. It's literally, and the opportunities section of the SWOT is my favorite section, because you're literally standing and seeing, okay, what's out there, and what could we do to capitalize on what's out there.
yes.
Yeah.
But then the final section,
Yes.
the threats.
That's right.
What's outside there, Dash?
There's a ton of photographers in Tampa. Like, literally a ton. We brought 100, not 100 of them because there's models
So
too, but
like
we
50
brought like
or
probably
so.
50 photographers together. There's a ton. They're all freaking amazing. They've all been doing this for quite some time.
Yeah, much longer than us for sure.
And I don't know if a lot of them know that, but like we've only been doing this for a year and a half. Literally picked up our cameras a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if a lot of them know that information. Now you do. It's not something we're hiding. It's just like we don't really talk about that often, I guess. But I mean, there's a ton of photographers out there,
So,
and I think that that's definitely
I think the threat would be, just to simplify it, would be not knowing the fluctuation as far as the amount of job opportunities over time.
Yes.
Because we know some photographers that have been doing this for 12 years,
Yep.
and they've kind of seen the ups and downs of the economic type of thing, or whatever you want to call it. So the experience, I guess, would be a threat. The lack of experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's true. That makes sense.
Well, you see, the lack of experience, if you think about it, that's internal.
Oh,
So that would be a weakness.
okay. So that's
Okay.
a weakness. Okay.
But is it also like?
So threats that are like physically
External.
external.
Well, they know more because they've experienced all that. So I guess that would be
So,
a strength of theirs
they're-
and a threat
That's
to
theirs.
us.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But we've actually become partners with some of these people, so not really threatening more. So
Threats move into opportunities. That's how the board.
okay, see, that makes
Shit.
sense. So like, find your threats and then be friends. So
convert
like,
them into an opportunity.
okay, we're already on the right track then. Look at that. Look at that. Winning.
Oh, there has to be another threat out there, though.
Okay, what's our
come
other
on,
threat?
Gotta give them a threat.
Okay, out in the real world, there's bigger companies
Bigger
than us
firms.
who are doing the same things. We know a couple of them who are like more also marketing agencies, so like advertising and marketing combined.
Yeah, so
you know what
just
we're talking about.
competition, basically, right?
Competition, but like people who have not been doing this as long as we have, who are the same age as us, who are doing, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So who, you know what I'm talking about. So who have just been doing this that much better and at higher pricing because they went to school for this. We did not go to school for this. We're learning it as we go. And so I think that's definitely a threat, is that there are larger companies
that
now
are in the same market.
that are in the same market,
Similar
but
market.
reaching they're the same business, but they're in different markets because they're reaching
They're reaching higher
companies. But I think that's kind of a threat because they're kind of encroaching on smaller companies that are in our realm, and doing it much better than we are because they just have more experience.
Yeah,
and
and they
are
also have a
able
bigger
to-
team, too.
And they're able to hire people of more experience. También. So that's something that.
So that considered as external, or is that still internal?
that's definitely an external player, and their position in the market is definitely a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're about to do their podcast, so.
So again, we're gonna try to turn it into opportunity.
It's definitely about to be all dirty. We're about to be friends.
So the key is to turn every
Friend
threat
trap
into
everyone. That's the key. I feel like that's the key to life right
think
there. Just make every single person a bomb ass friend, and you'll be good.
Convert them into an opportunity.
Get them on your
Convert that
podcast.
into opportunity. Damn.
And once they are in an opportunity, you have the ability to convert them into strength, or convert that partnership into strength.
I feel better every time we talk to you, the Ian now. Because
We just talked to Ian. He's just like, yep, yes.
he's like, yeah, you're on the right track, and that makes me feel better about life because we never really know what's happening. We're just
like, Ian, we're freaking out. It's been a year. We still don't have a website.
Yeah, just got business. Oh, we got business.
We got
cards.
business
I gotta
cards,
show you our
man.
business cards.
Nice.
Took us a year.
It was like 2 weeks ago that we got them. We're very excited about them. We actually need to distribute more of those everywhere because we have a lot of them now. We have 500 each. So,
Nice.
but yeah. But I feel better every time we sit down because it's like, okay, our problems are not that large. They're actually turning into strengths and opportunities.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's exciting.
That's so cool, man.
You're right on schedule because see this phase.
It makes me feel comforted.
Whenever I get sad, I'm just gonna rewatch this video.
It's gonna be like, you're right on schedule. Ian Knight said so. The Ian Knight.
It really is a marathon. You know, the entire process. Because you see, the thing is, you can't measure after 6 months. You can't measure the firm after 6 months. You can gather information on the firm in 6 months, but it really takes 12 to 24 months to really see, okay, this is what we intended. You know, Amazon, if you think about Amazon, they were going to sell books.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And look what they've evolved into.
Yeah.
Now they're about to sell
Pharmaceuticals.
like pharmaceutical drugs. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
So basically, no, but basically being okay with change
Yeah.
and realizing that mostly all companies end up doing something kind of close to what they intended to do, but still kind of went through this weird, winding road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I
ended
think
up
that's
in
where we're at
yeah.
too. We went through a weird
Yeah.
winding road.
And the winding road is all right, but the destination at the end has to be consistent, and that's strategy. So, and this is where Hooters went wrong. They had an opportunity that they capitalized on, but it wasn't a strategic fit. You really have to look at it as though I'm going to have one generic strategy, and regardless of which decisions or group of decisions that I make, I'm still going to be committed to that strategy. And at the end of the day, regardless of how much I deviate, my customer at day one will still be able to identify who I am in the marketplace.
Okay, that makes sense.
A lot of firms, go through the changes, and when they come out of the changes, they realize that they got distracted. They stopped and threw a stone at every dog that barked. They stopped and tried to serve everybody who said they wanted something different from them.
Okay.
That's true.
I think something that we struggle with in just everything that we're doing is that we don't have an end goal. And it's changed every time.
Yeah.
Every couple of weeks, every day.
Yeah, because initially the first goal we had was to be able to try to do this full time, before we even started.
I think our goals were too small.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Our goals were too small, and then maybe we're too afraid to dream too big. We have this big dream, and what it is, opening up a co-working space one day, and that'd be kind of cool. So that's
just bomb dog. I don't know if everyone knows it, but now they do. You're welcome. If you got this far in the podcast, leave us a building or something.
Drop the building emoji
in a comment.
But that's basically what we're trying to do. But I think we kind of have it now, because that's kind of why we're focusing so much on community.
Yeah.
To build everybody really close together, so that way once we do get a space, we'll be all right, guys, this community here. Come to the building here and get closer.
Yeah, we have. It's our building.
So that's kind of how we see it now, loosely. But this unwinding road, it's kind of leading to that.
Yeah. And so many little odd jobs and pieces are kind of
the dog's barking kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's not that's not unusual. That's the course of business. It's not in a vacuum. It's evolving.
Yeah.
And good businesses evolve over time. It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
But when it's not sunshine and rainbows and you're not winning, you're getting wise.
Wow. If you're not winning, you're getting wise. That's it. That's what this episode's gonna be called.
That's what it's called.
If you're not winning, you're getting wise.
Yeah, that's the end game, you know.
Okay.
And once you're true to your, and I do think you have an end game, and once you know you're true to it, you know it will happen. It won't take, you know, probably not even 24 months or 36 months, but it will, you know. Yeah.
Freaking E and I, man, right
The
there.
E and I. He just makes me feel so much more comfortable about my life
For real.
choices.
Like, yeah, it's fine.
Every time.
Dang, man, that's wild.
Fun
That's
stuff.
yeah. Then, we like to end all our podcasts with this question, but before we get to that last question, is there anything else you would like to say to us or the viewers out there that are listening to this podcast, watching it on YouTube?
Yeah. Keep on doing what you're doing. You know, the biggest thing in business is resilience and courage, because when you get those, you know, discouraging days, you need the courage, and when you don't win the business, you need the resilience to bounce right back. So, you know, and that's something that I'm learning myself, you know, in my endeavors. And visit emergemillennial.com.
Yes.
Emergemillennial.com.
Oh my gosh.
plug.
Your articles, I remember you shared a couple with us before.
Super insightful.
They're so like just eloquently written that it's just like, and just so much like knowledge filled that you're just like, wow, I needed this in my life.
Oh man.
Like,
Thank
so
you for
check
that.
it out, for real.
it's like straight to the point, but like you're like, damn, it like leaves you thinking about it.
Yeah,
For
and it's
sure,
the
man.
Ian Knight. So
Oh man.
you
That's
gotta
it.
check it out.
That's it. That's it, man. Wow, that's crazy. So we like to share our struggles. Like we were, like as you can tell, like this whole episode was like us sharing our struggles. But because we just like to be real people, because we realize like one, it really helps us sharing our struggles, because there might be other people that went through the same stuff that can help us out, and just basically showing the world like we don't have this like business thing figured out, but we're out here trying, and that's really all that matters. So, what is one thing that you're currently struggling with right now yourself? And what is one thing someone can do if they listen to this podcast today? What is one thing someone can do to help you?
Well,
Let the world know.
I am at this very interesting stage of my professional life, per se. I am working in a firm, very large firm, actually very large firm, and I emphasize on a very large firm because I am new within this firm, and I am finding that I'm not enjoying any of the corporate culture type of deal, you know. So I am at this stage in my life now where I'm trying to find who I am as an individual, and I know the value that I bring. So I am now like in the process of like, am I going to go out on my own to pursue what I want to do, or should I keep on, keeping on in some place where I don't want to be? There's a big abyss really between where you are and where you need to go. And I'm at the point now where I'm like, am I going to jump and hope that I make it, or am I going to stay in this controlled environment where I know my paycheck is going to be in my bank account every 2 weeks, or
and there's health insurance,
that's safety,
and 401k.
Or what if I were to jump and it worked out, like holy smokes, or if it didn't, I mean, still I'd have been. Learn something, but
yeah, seriously,
yeah. That's where I am, and I'm trying to get connected with, people who have, who are experiencing things like that. And I'm trying to align myself with people who I can learn from. Gotcha. And that's the biggest thing now that I'm learning personally, is that you can't do it by yourself. Chances are somebody has been through it before.
Oh yeah.
And you don't have to feel your way through it like a blind mice, just ask a person. And so that's, if anybody out there in the world who's listening to this, you got some advice, you got some golden nuggets, some coconut fire.
Yes. Yes, the coconut fire.
Throw some over here because I'm in dire need.
Hey, wow, what a way to end the podcast.
Right? That was great.
Dang. Well, thank you so much, Ian, man.
Thank you for having
I'm
me.
sure there are plenty of people out there that are going to reach out to you, man.
Yeah.
Because, like, literally, that's all you really got to do, man. Just
Yeah.
ask people for help,
Yeah.
man, and they'll come to you, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
and
thank you so much, Ian.
dude, seriously, like, no, see, you guys don't understand how awesome Ian is, bro. Like,
he's
we're
really
gonna spend the last like 2 minutes like
I'm
on this.
really a horrible
No,
person.
No.
no, it's like Ian.
Freak it
Ian
out.
was literally there when we first got our cameras, and we're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
Ian, we have these cameras. We don't really know what we're doing, but we want to do like a free graduation shoot for you because he was graduating."
Yes!
Remember that?
Ian, you remember
Bro, you
our
were-
first photo shoots
Awesome.
ever.
Yeah, you were one of those first. Like literally,
We had
you
no
were one
idea
of
what we were
our
doing.
first customers in a way.
Like, for
Those were
real.
some good
Yeah,
photos.
man.
They were.
We had
They were
no idea
awesome.
what we were doing.
They were
So
much
we-
better today.
We appreciate you, bro, for giving us the chance to
Yes.
practice, man.
Thank you.
And dude, honestly, dude, like seriously, this friendship here, like we really do appreciate it, dude. Every
Always
time
mutual.
we're just like chilling, we're like, I wonder how Ian's doing. Like seriously, dude, seriously, man. And,
One
like,
of these days, though, I'm gonna drive up to Tampa and
definitely,
Yes.
I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna come up to your next pop-up.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's gonna be cool,
I
Ian.
liked it.
That's
and
wild.
I'm always following you on YouTube. I'm subscribed. Every time
Hey.
I get a notification, I watch it.
Oh, yeah?
So.
Dang, man.
That's cool.
That's cool,
Oh,
man.
well,
Well,
thanks again.
thank you so much for watching, guys, and make sure to like, subscribe, leave a review. I
Yeah.
hear that really helps a
Yep,
lot.
we hear that helps.
Give us a rating, give us some feedback.
Yep.
Like if you guys want us to add something to it, take away something through this podcast, let us know. And yeah,
Leave some comments.
yeah,
We actually really enjoy reading.
yeah.
the
Talk to us
comments.
in the comments because
We're getting better at actually responding to them, but we like reading them, so that's great.
yeah, it's a learning process for sure.
Yes.
But until then, guys, we'll see you in the next episode. Peace. Before we end this podcast, I just want to give a huge shout out to EV47. He's the one that made the beat for the beginning and end of this podcast. So you should definitely check him out because he's dope. And yeah, peace.
Yes.